Good morning, everyone. Welcome to AMHQ Weekend. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday. I'm meteorologist Kelly Cass.
And I'm meteorologist Alex Wallace in for Reynolds Wolf.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've worked with you. Christmas morning was the last time we worked together, you guys. But now it's feeling more like, 4th of July with the kind of heat that we've been having across the eastern half of the country. We want to say good morning to...
Snapshot here for this Sunday, and really unsettled time across parts of the lower Mississippi Valley. That's where we're generally going to find ourselves dealing with the best shot at some showers. And of course, the west also quite unsettled.
Exactly, especially the Pacific Northwest. Even places like Seattle and Portland could see some snow mixed in. Otherwise, high pressure delivering a pretty calm, tranquil day across the East Coast. I know it's chilly now, but just wait. Next couple of days, we're back above average again.
Yeah, it really is just a sort of a quick hitter, and then it's out of here pretty quickly.
Exactly. We do have a few showers on your Sunday across the deep south into Texas, Louisiana. Record-breaking rain amounts, as a matter of fact, yesterday in places like McAllen. And look at this, Alex, the bullseye right here, 10 to 30 degrees above average.
That seems to have been the story for the winter for a lot of us, above average with the temps.
That is the week with thunderstorms as well. But as I mentioned, we saw some record-breaking rainfall amounts yesterday. In fact, if we check out McAllen, Texas, topping our list, 1.75 inches typically for the entire month of March. You only get about 0.86, so that is definitely above your monthly average. Brownsville, Texas, also up in that category. Laredo, Texas, over an inch for you. And Corpus Christi, it was a soaker of a day. Hopefully not too many problems out there on the roadways. The good news is we didn't really see much in the way of severe weather, and our severe chances are also rather low today. This is just plain old rain that's affecting us across Texas. At times you saw a few lightning bolts showing up in there as well, especially between San Antonio, Corpus, and down towards Brownsville. And even Houston, we could also see some heavy downpours still today with that chance of thunder and lightning as well. Here's the current radar as that northern edge of the rain is now creeping on into Little Rock, Shreveport to Monroe. That ride along 20 looks a bit wet right now. Jackson, Mississippi, and the eastern extent of the rain all the way over here into the west central portions of Alabama. But overall, the rain is going to be pretty light, and it's not really going to have any staying power in terms of helping us out with the drought across the southeast. So North Georgia, don't expect much from this. In fact, let's track the rain as we look at this computer model. The darker greens, patches of yellow, that is your heavy rain that's going to be impacting especially the 10 here. Look at Houston. This is around 8 o'clock this morning. We'll likely have some heavy downpours, possibly some thunder and lightning with that as well. New Orleans really at any time during the morning or afternoon hours. And for Jackson, Mississippi, even into the afternoon, and Birmingham by about 5 o'clock, according to this computer model, it could be raining pretty good. So here's a look at the rainfall amounts. Up to an inch is possible in some of these areas. Much more down toward the Gulf Coast where you have a little more instability, more moisture to work with. Houston, just have those umbrellas handy. Heading out to church services, brunch, lunch, dinner. Yeah, you name it. We're looking at a soggy day. Rain, snow, whatever precip may slow you down as we head into a brand new work week. We're looking live at Memphis as well as Indianapolis. The camera's moving around a little bit. It looks like it might be a little breezy out there. Something you both have in common, by the way, Elvis. The King began his recording career at Sun Records in Memphis, and he actually played his last concert at Indy in 1977. So here's a look at the ingredients coming together where we could see some strong, if not severe thunderstorms. Cold front marching to the east. Out ahead of that, you've got your warm sector and plenty of moisture to work with. So for tomorrow, if you live in this red zone, anywhere from southern Minnesota through the Quad Cities, all the way down into northern parts of Arkansas and Oklahoma, the main threat, damaging winds, obviously lightning, thunder, that kind of thing, but we can't rule out the possibility of isolated tornadoes. Torcon chances are pretty low at this point, around a 2, but here comes the front as it marches eastward Monday evening. That's when we start to see a lot of activity on the radar screen. All the way through Chicago. By about midnight, you're going to hear some of that thunder, perhaps. St. Louis as well, about 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, this is going to be an overnight event for some of you as well. So there's your chance for severe Monday night, and we keep it going a little bit more toward the east and to the south as we head into Tuesday as well. We are back in just 60 o'clock this morning. Charleston under a frost advisory because the growing season started so early this year due to the very much above average temperatures that we saw during the months of January and February. So there are your frost advisories showing up in the blue. Freeze warnings in effect for this area in pink from Charlotte to Columbia. Atlanta taken out of that, but we did have some pretty cool temperatures surrounding Atlanta. North Georgia mountains have not quite bloomed out yet or leafed out, but still these temperatures are a little bit tough to take, especially for the plants and vegetation that have already sprouted. So here's a look at the numbers right now. We're at 35 in Charlotte, better than yesterday morning. We were in the 20s yesterday morning. 36 degrees in Columbia, 35 in Augusta, Georgia, and 39 in in Charleston. We take a look at the big picture. There's your culprit. High pressure. We had cool conditions overnight. We had calm conditions that allowed for radiational cooling to take place. Meanwhile, the backside of that high delivering a southerly flow, and that is increasing not just the temperature, but the moisture across Texas, Arkansas, and Louisiana, and that's where you have the chance for seeing some rainfall today. So we are seeing more of a cloudy sky setting up for today. Atlanta, one of those places, cloudy skies, 46 degrees, 48 degrees in Nashville at this time. And as we go through the afternoon, due to the fact that we'll have more cloud cover, we're not going to see a really warm day, but still above average. I mean, look at these mid-60s from Nashville to Atlanta, 71 in Jacksonville. Spring break has begun for many colleges and universities across the country. I know UGA happens to be off this week, so if you're down here in Florida, looks like some decent beach weather overall. Here's a look at the tree pollen. Yeah, that is running high. If you're sniffling and sneezing, this is why. Here in western Texas and also portions of southern Mississippi, Alabama, all the way up the Carolina coastline. Time to visit the doctor maybe a little bit early this year because of the pollen being a little bit higher than usual. 70 degrees is what we'll see tomorrow in Atlanta, 71 in Memphis, 71 Meridian, 67 degrees in the Queen City of Charlotte. And we will see those temperatures pretty similar as we head toward the day on Tuesday. Again, these are above average for the beginning of March even. 76 for the state capital there in Tallahassee, Florida. Here's a look at Jacksonville, where your average high this time of the year is 72. We're going to be close to that today and tomorrow, but then well above that for the rest of this upcoming. Serious deficits in terms of snowfall here in the middle of the country. Take a look at Minneapolis, where, yeah, we typically see 43.4 inches in an average season, but so far this year, you can basically take that number and cut it in half. We've only seen 27.8 inches so far this season, and we really don't have a lot in your forecast. In fact, some western cities and towns have been doing even better than some of these Midwestern cities like Minneapolis, where you've only had 1.3 since February 1st. But look at Seattle. You guys beat Minneapolis in the snowfall department, 7.2 since the beginning of February. Your average is only 2 inches for the entire season, by the way, or since February 1st. Spokane, Washington, 19.8 inches since the beginning of February. And look at your average, 7.5. So blowing out your average, but also beating out the Midwest. Places like Indianapolis, only 2.1 inches of snow since the beginning of February. Do we have any snow in the forecast? Not with above average temperatures, Alex. I don't see it coming.
Yeah, I tell